You guys want to see my Denzel Washington impression? The Equalizer is directed by Antoine Fuqua and stars Denzel Washington, and I am finally back from LA. I just came back from a week-long trip into the city of Los Angeles. I hit all of the Schmoes Know podcast. I got to meet people like Scott Mance, Alicia Malone, Maude Garrett. I went on Josh McCouga's Between the Sheets. I can't wait for you guys to see those episodes when they're up. I put links for all of the shows that I hit in the description, including AMC Movie Talk. That was a lot of fun, and I even recorded 2 episodes with Screen Junkies, which is going to be out really soon. I also took the time to see movies like The Equalizer and The Guest. Review for The Guest coming soon, but let's talk about The Equalizer. This project went between a lot of different hands before it finally landed in the lap of Antoine Fuqua. Originally, Nicholas Winding Refn was going to direct this movie, which is not very surprising because there's a lot of his trademark violence in this movie. Chloë Grace Moretz plays a young prostitute in this movie, and Denzel Washington is a man with a mysterious past. He often meets her at this diner, kind of watches over her, and eventually decides he's going to protect her when some really evil men beat her up. This brings his mysterious past back into the forefront, and he is on a mission to find all of the people of this Russian gang and take them out. Denzel Washington could make a movie about a man with a severe bowel movement problem who spends the entire movie on the toilet, and he would be a good thing to watch. While people are getting nails drilled into their heads and beaten until they can't even move anymore, Denzel Washington is the one thing that carries this movie along and gives it the credibility that it deserves. It's a fun movie with a pretty strong villain, and seeing them both interact were some of my favorite parts of this movie. In fact, my favorite scene in this movie is a very intense conversation with both of them at a restaurant. Some people are going to be really turned off by the over-the-top violence in this movie because it's not really handled with much reason. See, in the past where films like Drive had violence and it was in there and you felt like it actually had something to do with the character of the driver, that he had like this strange past in which he was trying to withhold this psychotic, insane part of him, Denzel Washington's character of the Equalizer seems fairly sane. And so some of the things that he does, some of the Saw or Home Alone-like traps he creates, I feel like they're just there for entertainment value, and sometimes some of the traps, I thought, became a little over the top and maybe even a little unnecessary. But my main issue with this movie is that there are just too many side plots. There's the character of Chloë Grace Moretz, who shows up for a while, kind of is there just to get Denzel Washington back into this evil world again, and then just disappears for the entire movie. There's a character that Denzel is trying to help lose weight so he can become a security guard, and while some of these characters come back into play at certain parts, a lot of it just feels like added baggage to give the audience some sympathy for Denzel's character when he's doing some of the horrifically violent things he does. There's also like a really random scene with Bill Pullman and Melissa Leo that feels like it could just be removed from the movie entirely. That being said, I did have a good time watching this movie because Denzel Washington, as I said, sells every scene he's in. He makes the violence fun. He makes the over-the-top nature of the movie fun to watch. He also sells the really serious moments. You really buy that this older gentleman can really kill all these people and do a really good job at it. Overall, I did enjoy watching this movie because as a character, I found him extremely compelling, and of course, Washington made it endlessly watchable. That being said, you don't really learn that much about his character, and I was expecting to learn more about him, but he is a blank slate throughout the entire film from beginning to end, so that did disappoint me. Denzel is great. The action is fun, although it's basically like Saw combined with Home Alone, and it's a little over the top. The story has a lot of holes in it, and there's a lot of added baggage, but I still did enjoy watching this movie, and I'm going to give it a B- for that reason, because it was a watchable film. So guys, since I am finally back from LA, there's going to be a lot more reviews I got to catch up. I'm going to have a review for The Guest, which I got to see in LA in its limited run. And like I said, the links for all the shows that I hit are in the description below if you want to check those out in your free time. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and if you saw this movie, what are your thoughts on it? Thanks a lot, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.